Hey, welcome, all you right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk. Thinking right out here in the lab where I do what I do for you. And today I got something nice for you. Let's get this party started. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in and receiving them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's rock. Right thinking mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers do just that. My goal is to get the information to you daily to do just that. Know thyself. Let's go. And I ask the question to you, do you know you? It's rhetorical. But if you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believes and thinks that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows but knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. That's cool. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows, and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And to Mayat, be true. Today, we're still talking about or working on initiating, but we're going to answer the question about Shetaut net. I'm going to break that down for you. And I got a few other pages of information. I'm going to keep moving around because I'm gonna give you the meat and potatoes. I got some fluff in this lesson here, something I don't think is necessary to teach. So I'm gonna be the meat and potatoes, starting with the idea of Shetaut Netta. Shetaut Netta, or right thing philosophy, a sage. Oh no, excuse me, that's the wrong page. Excuse me, sorry about that. All right, here we go. Yeah, Shetaut Netta is a yoga system. Right thing philosophy is the spinoff of Shetaut Netta. So when you hear that, they both synonymous with the same. Only difference with right thinking is I put my personal twist to it, but I didn't change the philosophy at all. So let's go. So yoga, what's the definition of Shetaut right thinking philosophy? It's a yoga, and it's a process of what? Reversing what the conditioning effect which ordinary human life has on our mind. Everything which affects the mind conditions the mind. Get it? This is the nature of the mind, so it's all natural. Ignorance of yourself is the primary and most important concern of yoga, aka right thinking philosophy, because ordinary human life intensifies ignorance, if not taken care of, and thereby you, the human being, you suffer pain. You suffer pain as well as disappointments. Okay, yoga, right thing philosophy, will uncondition the mind in order that what you, the aspirant, may now attain what unity with your higher self and achieve what supreme freedom and supreme peace, which is in a state of, you ready? Horushood, Godhood, Christhood, you're in there, or kingdom of heaven, again, liberation, moksha, and my favorite, enlightenment. Enlightenment means you're learning something that you didn't know previously. That's all it is. They ain't saying you're dumb. No. It means you're learning. My goal is to enlighten you to something that you don't already know. If I'm telling you what you know already, I'm not enlightening you. Excuse me. But instead of being what? In the one trapped in the confines of what your ego self due to ignorance of your higher self. It makes sense if you understand it. Instead of trying to prove me wrong or find contradictions, listen, pay attention, reflect, and meditate, and then let me know what you think about it. Moving on. In this sense, what? The practice of right thinking philosophy conditions the mind. Why? So that it experiences expansion, enlightening, while worldly conditioning, which is the ego self, and egoism results in what? More mental agitation, contraction, and dependency on what? The world, and it intensifies your what? Pain and suffering in the end. The more worldly you are, the more issues you're going to have. Why? This is all illusionary. This is everlasting, internal idea. So the ancient Egyptian mystery system, what everybody called it, you know why? When they came in to invade us, we taught those who came to learn from us, the Greeks. Okay, we taught them. But when they came to invade us, they said what we was doing was the mystery. Yeah, to them, we didn't tell them. We didn't share. Okay, that's why. But it really was Shetaut Netta, or we know as Egyptian yoga. That's right thinking philosophy. That's what I mastered. That's what I practiced. That's what it was from ancient times. Watch this. Now, the ancient mystery system was called Shetaut Netta, and that means the knowledge of the hidden or the secret one. God. Shetaut is the way of the gods and the goddesses, which we call the Netter. Hence, Shetaut is also the name of Absolute. We knew that, the hidden one, aka God, the hidden transcendental supreme being, which sustains what? All creation, and it is synonymous with the terms or the names we call Amun, Nabercha. And see, in the Shetaut Netta system of yoga, there were three levels, of aspirants. There we go with that three levels again. There we go with that three things again. And these are different, but they all come out the same concept. What's this? Now they are the first level, basis, first level, entered apprentice. With the Egyptian yoga system, which was first level, is students who were being instructed. Sound like an apprentice to me. On what? A probationary status. If you can't pass what we need you to do, you're not going to make it to the next level. Okay, so what it is, but had not experienced inner vision, meaning you don't know what's going on. We bring you in as the words from Master. I would raise them from the dead level of ignorance of Masonic knowledge and raise them up with Masada Nas to get them to be on their own. Same thing I'm doing with knowing thyself. So I got a personal thing going here. That second level, Fellowcraft, start to put some work in. Second level here, they call you the what? The intelligence, meaning you're starting to learn something. The first level should have taught you something. Now you're going to exercise what you learn. What's this? Students who had what? Attained inner vision and had received what? A glimpse, just a little bit, of cosmic consciousness. You're starting to realize, oh, this something to it. Yeah, there you go. So now they're starting to get understanding and starting to perform and produce at the second level. To reach the third level, you're considered master mason. Oh, excuse me. No, you're considered the creators or beings of light, the illuminated ones. You illuminate with intellect, understanding, and living and doing righteous things, not by titles and a whole bunch of nonsense. So if you're at the third level, you're a student now. What happened? You have become identified with or united with who? You ready? God, your higher self. I love it. So the teachings surrounding the cult of Aset, watch this, give important information concerning the conduct, what, necessary to be an initiate. Everybody can't be in the club. Why? We got certain, levels and characteristics that you have to follow. And if you ain't willing to do that, you can't be part of the club. Simple. So she lets you know what's necessary to be an initiate in what? The mysteries of spiritual development, aka yoga, or right then philosophy, or we know Egyptian yoga, whatever you want to call it. But if you want to raise your consciousness, you have to be taught. You have to be willing to listen, reflect, and meditate. The veil, how you go? Here you go. This is my best part. The veil of Aset is the veil of ignorance, which blocks your divine awareness, which is from a human perspective, meaning you're ignorant. Aset is wisdom. Aset is knowledge. Watch this. And the following teachings of Aset will reveal the nature of Aset, who in this aspect represents what? She represents now the all-encompassing divine self, aka God, from a female aspect. And this is what she tell you. I said, am all that has been, Alpha, and all that is and shall be, Mega, and no mortal man have ever unveiled me. What she's saying? She's saying she could only be seen through the spiritual eye, meaning you have to raise your conscious level to get there, and you become what? Immortal. Mortal man can't see her with these two eyes. That's what she's trying to convey to you. Okay, let's go to the next page. Let me show you something right quick. That's her, Madonna. And you see, she's sitting there nursing him, but it's a picture. He's not actually feeding off the breast. It's a concept. See what I'm saying? Okay, so a picture's worth 1,000 words. She's nurturing him, but not from the tip, but with knowledge and consciousness. What it says here. Above, you see, I said, nursing the baby, Haru, who is the incarnation of his father, Asad. The ancient Egyptian version of the mother and child, they called the Madonna, and the initiation into what? The teachings of, you ready? Egyptian yoga, aka Shetaut Netta. Haru learned the lessons from his mother. My moral code, then from him, nope, my mother. So you got to have two sides. You got to have a balance. Mom's good. Dad have a It's all what it is. Love you, Dad, but you wasn't good. Okay, moving on. Just concept. Whoa, just concept. So let's get to the next part of this lesson. All right, here we go. Now, they were smart enough to come up with an elaborate system. Not a regular system, but an elaborate system of what? Gods and goddesses, as well as they form symbols representing a supreme being. We gave him identity. We know he's hidden. We know he's spirit, but we gave him identity to what? Philosophically learn, emulate, and understand. That's what it's all about. The title God and represent God. He's all everything. We call him the absolute. Nothing. Moving on. So we got the concept. Okay. So now, as what? Yeah, symbols of the supreme being. And what is this? They are merely metaphors, again, created by the ancient sages for those who are not spiritually mature. Okay, what that mean? Possessing a higher developed sense of intellectual subtlety to understand that what? God transcends all thoughts, symbols, and concepts of what? The mind. This is the reason why you have rituals to impress on the mind the symbolic concept of what you're practicing and what you're following. That's all. Hope you're getting this. I'm trying to give it to you, make it make sense to you. So let's go where I'm at. So until your intellect, and we gave, even your intellect has a name, Sa, S-A-A. That means total understanding. If you have Sa, you can't be ignorant. So ignorant is a guy with a hatchet to his head. Sound familiar? That's it. That's the ego. Self-destructive. Okay, so everything had an identity that you can use metaphorically again to learn, to get a concept, understand. Then you can manifest what you learn for yourself. That's what makes it real. Moving on. But until your intellect, your side is developed, the symbols are used. What? But when spiritual sensitivity dawns, the hidden or the esoteric meaning, the real meaning, the hidden meaning of the symbols are revealed, leading The initiate you to what? Greater and greater levels of inner awareness, or AKA self spiritual enlightenment, knowing thyself. Why? That's what it's all about. Isis, she represents the supreme teacher, the original preceptor of what? The mysteries. I call them life lessons. She was preparing her son to deal with the world. Okay, that's what we do as parents, prepare our children to go out into the world. She prepared, well, she was the prep of mysteries. Now, having attained spiritual knowledge, spirit is God, knowledge is to know. When you have spiritual knowledge, you're supposed to know God. Self knowledge means, again, you know God. They go hand in hand. But she, having attained spiritual knowledge by what? You ready? Listening to the teachings of Aset. The task of you, the initiate, is continuously reflected upon them until what? The evil of ignorance, egoism is lifted. Meaning your thought processes, your way you're thinking, and how you're living will be changed. Why? Because you're no longer driven and led by your ego self. Trying to make up. Okay, I'm doing all right. So, through this process of continued intellectual refinement, meaning studying, paying attention, and reflecting on the teachings, when daily, what happened? The veil is now, the veil of ignorance is now what? Torn away. Ding, 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 ding. Thus, the mortal, watch this, the mortal consciousness symbolized by the veil is transcended, and now Aset is realized by her unveiled form, which is what? In order to behold her unveiled form, ordinary human perception cannot be used. The spiritual eye. And this is why, again, no mortal man has unveiled her. Mortal man is ignorant of him higher self. It's the immortal man who realizes who he is that will recognize her. So the veil of ignorance is lifted of oneself. When you know thyself, you're lifting the veil, and now you can see Aset in her true form. Wisdom, intuitive knowledge, okay, that you can live by. And only those who what? Who become like Aset by divine consciousness can see her. Hello. Again, if you ain't raised your conscious level to the sixth degree, sixth level on the chakra, when you open your third eye, you ain't going to recognize her. You ain't going to see her. That's the name of the game. So through gradual intellectual refinement, attained how? Through the process of what? Again, listening, reflecting, and meditating, the mind of the initiate, which is you, becomes transformed. I use the caterpillar and the butterfly concept because it's easy to understand. We are born caterpillars. When we become enlightened beings, we turn into what? Butterflies. The joke is the caterpillar saw his old buddy, and the old buddy butterflied out. He spreading his stuff. The caterpillar said, "Man, you changed." The caterpillar said, "Yeah, we supposed to. What's your problem?" All you ignorant people who don't know yourself, that's my question to you. What's your problem? Become a butterfly. Know thyself. That's the concept. Almost done. Where we at? So, so through gradual intellectual process, okay, the mind of you, the initiate, becomes transformed. Okay, that's the idea. That's the idea. That's the goal. That's my mission for all right thinkers to do just that. Thus, the initiate, you sees with what? Divine eyes and not with mortal ones. Get the concept? He or she is now beyond birth and death and mortality. You just check your ticket. You punch your ticket for what? Immortality to go home. Ding, 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 ding. Your bar, which is the falcon, your head just became your part of that bar. So now it can go home. Why? It knows itself. And they'll know you when you get there. Conceptually. Nobody knows for real. So this is all theoretical and conceptually. How about that? So to be ignorant, well, how you know this? How you know that? Same way you know that nonsense that you believe in. So don't get me started there. Sorry about that. Back to the lesson. Let me wrap it up. I'm about done. Now, unveiling, I said, is what? Unveiling your true self. Knowing thyself. See where we're going with this? One must go beyond your mortal, waking, dream, sleep, and dreamless deep sleep status of what? States of consciousness to what? To discover, aka unveil your true nature. Again, you have to do that. Over 5,000 years before the rise in prominence of what? The cult of Asar and Aset in Greece. We were doing this before the Greeks or the Romans, and the Egyptian pyramid text describes this process of spiritual transformation through what? A mythology surrounding the Eye of Horus and its return to the initiate following its theft by who? Set, his evil uncle, from the book Egyptian Yoga, the philosophy of enlightenment, which was, like I told you, my Bible. So I know all of this. Moving on. In later times, what happened? The struggle against, I tell you, this is the moral struggle inside every one of us. The moral struggle against Set was carried on in the mysteries of Aset, which lasted until the year 394 AD, when what? When the temple of Aset was closed by who? The Christian Zealots, okay? I ain't going there. Who had taken over Egypt. It says here Ethiopia, but I know Ethiopia was never colonized or taken over by any form of anybody. Why? They could fight. Okay? When we got in trouble, we went over to Ethiopia to back us up. Nobody going into Ethiopia doing nothing. Moving on. Understand that. Why? They was fighters. The Romans, the Greeks, Ethiopians was fighters. Moving on. The process of initiation and spiritual awakening may be further defined how as the following. End it right there. Because I got another lesson coming up for you. Okay, I got a little. Yeah, right here. I got some more. Got another page and a half. I'm gonna get it in. Y'all can get it in. Excuse me. Let's wrap it up. Now, the self chooses the proper instruction for self. Meaning your discernment have to know if you picking the right teacher, you got the right concept, philosophy to follow. If you're not progressing, if you're not advancing, you're practicing the wrong philosophy. Moving on. Even though your present mental capacity may seemingly be unable to understand the subtleties of the wisdom teachings, you must develop what? The faith, okay, that you are innately capable of what? Conquering all the obstacles in yourself, because deep down you are what? A divine personality, which is what? Endowed with boundless resources. That's all they got. Yeah, that's what we're trying to get you to understand. If you don't know who you are, you don't know that you're God. We're spiritual beings having a human experience, and we forgot that we're God, so we think we're human. A lot of us think when we die, that's it. That's human thinking. That's wrong thinking. Moving on. But again, wait a minute down here. Okay. When this faith deepens into realization, it is this knowing. See, faith is only good until what? It plays out to fruition. Now it becomes knowing that you are what? Endowed with all the resources within yourself to achieve enlightenment, which becomes the basis for your for your cultivation of what? Contentment and peace in your own personality. That's knowing thyself. In order to have peace and understanding, you have to know you. It's some things that you have to do to make that possible too. It don't just happen. You just wake up all of a sudden, you know yourself. It don't work that way. Okay? So where we at? Okay, right there. So there is no need, watch this, with knowledge of self, and watch this, understanding the process, there is no need to be what? Jealous or envious of others. Why? Those are egoistic Satanian qualities. Become a hater. You jealous of somebody. Why? Why? There's no reason to be jealous. When you see someone with a good quality, You should aspire to what? Acquire that quality. Don't hate on it within yourself. If it's good, emulate it. I used to steal characters from people. Why? If I like them, I'm gonna be like them. Basketball, you want to be a good player, be like Mike. See, spiritually, be like Christ. Get the concept. So everybody got something to look up to, somebody to aspire to. So you don't hate on them because what they are, who they are. But we get hate all the time. Haru, Jesus, Krishna, everybody got hate on. They all saviors. They doing good, meant good, but they still got hate on. Moving on. You have what? The power to do so. When you see someone with a negative quality, here you go, you recognize it and you search yourself to see if you have any of those similar qualities. And I look like that. Yeah, when you get out of pocket, that's how you look. When you acting ignorant, stupid, that's how you look. So we can always see it out, but we don't see it in. That's the difference. And what happened? You wonder if you have similar qualities and what? You work to eliminate them. Self-improvement. Things that's not good, you get rid of it. If it ain't serving you, don't use it. You eliminate them within you. Again, if you see a quality that somebody else negative, you wonder, am I like that? And if the answer is yes, you should work on eliminating it. That's all. Moving on. Once you have learned to examine what yourself, self-reflection, and maintain what the watchful eye of yourself on your actions and your thoughts, what'll happen? You will develop subtlety of what? Intellect. Starting to get smarter, starting to make less dumb decisions. Your decision making starting to get better. Your discernment starting to kick in, which what will lead you forward towards what? Greater and greater what? Self-control or control over one's ego and spiritual sensitivity. You're becoming better at dealing with situations and people without being nasty, disrespectful, holding your ground, maintaining your dignity, and doing what's right. That's all part of knowing thyself. Come on now. Now, if you spend time focusing on what? Negative qualities and others always criticizing. Oh, I'm just telling you things to help you get better. I ain't criticizing. Yes, you are. No disrespect, but then they start disrespecting you, but thinking they help you. It's called constructive criticism. We understand that. But when it's done in the malicious manner, that ain't what it is. Moving on. So soon you will find what? Your personality abounding with these very qualities. If you don't watch yourself, it's the nature of the mind to what? Imitate that which it focuses on. So therefore, always try to what? Focus on positive things, positivity in others. When my students tell me, this remind me of when I used to think positive thinking. Okay, same thing. Call it what you want. You do it. Once you do it, you can call it what you want. That's why I call it right thinking. All right, moving on. I'm almost done. Yeah, I see. You should know the virtues. You should know the virtues well, okay? And reflect on them, more importantly, when daily, and you drawing strength from your what? Your inner spirit as it continues to what? Do the right thing. I'm gonna end the lesson on that because no, I got a little more. Roll with me. Gonna roll with me. Right thinkers. Okay, thank you. Let's go. But a common reaction in most people who are ignorant, watch this, of spiritual truth and who are very much engrossed in their egos. We know a bunch of them. Is that when they come into contact with those who have made, watch this, superior achievements, what happened? They tend to look for any kind of what? Imperfection. The haters. There you go. Constructive criticism. No, they showing hate. They're looking for anything they could poke a hole in. So I had to get this out. Okay. Now, in order to what? To pull you, that person, what? Down to their level. Why do bad people want other people to be bad? I'm a good person. I'm trying to get people to be good. They ain't doing that. But they'll jump on the bad bandwagon in a heartbeat. Moving on. This could be why? Because they internally feel what? Ashamed of their own lower status. So they're going to pull you down to them. And they are jealous and have been conditioned what? By society to hate, to ridicule, and to put down who? Those above them. Or they what? Misunderstand the teachings, which is another problem. This type of an attitude is a major obstruction on what? The spiritual path. Why? Because unless you are a very advanced, you will need guidance. That's why. Hello. It can be avoided by what? Studying the teachings and maintaining humility, inner reflection, and watchfulness of what? Your thoughts and desires when at all times. If you can do that on your own, you don't need me. I got a problem with that. Not a bit. Because I'm trying to get you there anyway. So if you're already there, God bless you. Welcome to the club. Let me wrap this up. Now, once faith in the teachings, the teacher, and yourself is established, what happened? There must also be, you ready? Humility. Humility must be contrasted from what? Humiliation. You have to have been, I've been through my humiliation. And they say that with the rich, that Illuminati nonsense, they say when you're going through this is your humility ritual. So they're going to humiliate you. That's what some of them guys are going through now. No, I call it getting your own, getting karma. They call it humility. Okay, but yeah. Humiliation is a sentiment which is experienced when what? Watch this. When one allows oneself to believe that one is a miserable ego personality rather than what? A supreme monarch of all that exists, aka God. If you don't know who you are, you might fall for the okie doke. You, as your true self, cannot be degraded. Why? Since you are what? The basis for all that exists. Again, God. Humility is an ancient Egyptian proverb. Humility is a greater virtue than defying death. Wow. Why? It triumphs over vanity, conceit, and conquer them within yourself first. Start with the man in the mirror. Thus, you can only feel humiliated when what? When you see yourself as a body that is being ridiculed or put down. So therefore, strive to identify with your higher self rather than your ego self. Hello. Always be alert to this. I am not this perishable body with spiritual beings having human experience. I am a divine personality, again, spiritual. These people see only my body. They cannot see my true self, which is also their higher self. They either praise or put me down according to what? Their egoistic concepts and feelings. They are acting out of their own level of ignorance. Therefore, I should not allow their statements to determine the way I feel about myself. Again, you don't move the needle. Your opinion, your concerns don't move the needle for me. Moving on. That's what that means. And last but not least, when you go through life, and this is another ancient Egyptian proverb, pay attention, searching for oneself in the world is the pursuit of an illusion. If you understand that, ponder that one. And that's the end of the lesson. Right thinkers, may you all live to be 100 and me 100 minus a day. So I never know that right thinker like you have passed away. I got more for you. I'll be back.